Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome once more to an all new live video podcast from the PNT Live Network. This morning, we are specifically going to talk about adult entertainment industry news. That is right, porn industry news. Now, don't worry. No one over here is going to be getting naked. You're not going to see any nudity. Really, you're not going to see much of anything sexy, but we are going to discuss some of the very interesting and intricate politics that are just ongoing and continual behind the scenes within the adult entertainment industry. And we're going to talk about some of the dynamics that porn stars consistently have to contend with just basically in order to do their jobs. Well, that is if their jobs are ever going to be doable again, considering the coronavirus, right? So welcome everyone. Make sure that you go ahead and log in so that you can participate in the chat, because I'm sure some of you out there might have some questions or commentary or something along those lines. And if you do, I am here to answer your questions. But I hope all of you like this new little setup I have going on. I was just tinkering around with this software I have over here, and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to do a live podcast just to catch up on what's going on with the adult entertainment industry news, because I haven't done that in quite some time. And I'm thinking I might have quite the interesting interview coming up, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. So let's go ahead and pop on over to pornnewstoday.com and let's just talk about what else going on in the industry, because there is a lot going on in the industry right now. A whole bunch. Now let's see. What's one of the most important things that I want to touch on this morning? Well, you know what? I cannot believe that there are adult industry performers, veterans, people who have been around a while, who know better, who know how easily disease can be transmitted within the industry. I can't believe that there's such people, such porn stars, who in the midst, at the height of the transition of this coronavirus, or I'm sorry, transmission of the coronavirus, they are not abiding by the voluntary FSC moratorium, and they're trying to shoot. They are trying to make pornography, even though they really have no way of telling whether or not their scene partner, whether they're exhibiting symptoms or not, is positive for the coronavirus. And you know who one of those individuals was, at least as of March 26, 2020? Spiegler girl, Dana DeArmond, one of the original Spiegler girls. That's right. Pop on over to Porn News Today. Look at one of the most recent posts. I'm going to go ahead and read this to y'all right now, because I couldn't believe this mess. I was like, really? Of all people, a Spiegler girl? Yeah, she's claiming that her doctor said that it's okay. All right, here's the headline. Spiegler girl, Dana DeArmond, claims her doctor says she can shoot pornography, quote, with others who are not sick, end quote. But FSC CEO Michelle LeBlanc made it clear that, quote, shooting at this time is neither safe nor ethical. But there's some funny things about that Michelle LeBlanc. You know, she might say certain things on her Twitter, but I'm not so sure she means them. But we'll talk about that a little bit later, too. So here's the commentary written from Porn News Today. The burning question is, who is Dana DeArmond's doctor? And where exactly did he earn his degree? It's important to note that Dana is represented by the agent known as Mark Spiegler. You'd think, as professional as Mark wants the public to believe he is, he'd have made it clear to his client that producing adult content with people outside of her household in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic is a bad idea. I'm telling you, I think that the industry is going to end up becoming ground zero for the coronavirus. I think that they're going to have to round up all of them, people in hazmat suits. You know, it's going to be like, that scene from E.T. Remember in E.T., all the guys in the hazmat suits, they had that giant bubble facility that they had to put E.T. in, and E.T.'s trying to escape, and Elliot had to come. Well, guess what, porn stars? Elliot, he ain't coming, and you're not going to ride off into the sky across the moon in a little boy's basket once you get the coronavirus and it turns out that you've spread it to possibly hundreds of people, because the reality is so many of the porn stars are illegal escorts. Just because the luxury companion has been taken to task legally, that doesn't mean that the porn stars are not escorting still. Got that porn star companion still going on. So anyway, let's look at these tweets from Dana de Armand. So the Free Speech Coalition, this is March 24th, they tweeted, to clarify, we will bring Pass online tomorrow. This is when they were going to end one of the supposed moratoriums or shooting halts, whatever you want to call it. Once all clear test results have been received for that affected talent, but the production hold related to coronavirus will still be in effect. The only content anyone should be shooting is solo or with a partner from your own household. So Dana responds, well, I live alone. My doctor says I can shoot content with others who are not sick. Now, I don't know if that's what she sounds like, but that's how she sounds in my head, okay? So, then she continues. I spoke to my doctor. He said I can shoot content with other people who are not sick. Stop making me repeat myself. She's tweeting to somebody else, not the FSC in that one. And then enter the Mike South Twitter account for the Mike South blog. Now, who was operating that account that day? It's unclear, because keep in mind that particular blog still appears to be controlled by the Luxury Companion. But Dave of the Luxury Companion doesn't seem to always operate that Twitter account. I don't even know if he ever did, but I know that he's the one who obtained control of that blog. It seems that either the individual who likes to call herself Miss Kelly or Ari Scott Bass utilizes that Twitter account. So here's what they say to Dana. You are either lying or your doctor is an idiot. It's been proven time and time again, people without symptoms can still spread the virus for up to 2 weeks. What the fuck is wrong with you? Now, they didn't write what the fuck, they wrote WTF. I'll just clarify that. But Dana responds, nothing is wrong with me. I have been sitting in my house doing nothing for weeks. Well, Dana, there's a lot you could be doing. For example, you could think to yourself, this coronavirus pandemic may not be coming to a close anytime soon, so perhaps I should look into, I don't know, some other source of income outside of the adult entertainment industry. But no, she's just been sitting in her house doing nothing for weeks. All right, so then Michelle on the 25th reaffirms, shooting at this time is neither safe nor ethical. No one should be creating content with partners who are not a part of their household. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but she's not the only one. I mean, you got girls doing even worse. You want to know what some girls are doing who are porn stars? They're willing to maintain ads on eros.com. And one of who was doing it was a young woman known as Sophie Ryan. Let's take a look at her. Let's take a look at what was going on with her. Before I even read this post, I am going to make it clear that the ad that was on Eros for Sophie does appear to have been removed, but only after it was brought to the public's attention by MikeSouth.com initially. So I don't know what's going on with this girl, but a little interesting backstory when it comes to Sophie Ryan. She was one of the quote unquote Jane Does who made some very serious allegations and accusations against the adult industry agent known as Derek Hay of LA Direct Models, who just recently was taken to task legally in the state of California and charged with pimping and pandering alongside his BFF, Dave, aka Dwight, and his wife Karen of The Luxury Companion. So here's the headline. Sophie Ryan doesn't seem to be making the best choices for her health in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. Travel plans to Seattle? An active escort ad on Eros? And again, Sophie Ryan's escort ad no longer appears to be active on Eros. But if y'all want to see it, there is a link to the Google cache of it over on pornNewsToday.com. Here's the commentary. The Porn News Today team initially found the current situation revolving around porn star Sophie Ryan quite surprising, considering that she was revealed as a Jane Doe, along with 4 other women who provided testimony against Derek Hay of LA Direct Models. However, upon investigation, it appears that MikeSouth.com alleged in 2018 that Sophie Ryan has been arrested for prostitution in the past. So it seems she's still stuck in the same pattern of dysfunction, which isn't just sad, but potentially deadly, considering the current national COVID-19 pandemic. Adult performers currently social distancing and adhering to the voluntary Free Speech Coalition's halt on production may want to consider adding Sophie to their no list, as her activity puts her at high risk of contracting and transmitting the coronavirus, which is highly contagious. And keep in mind, she could easily become an asymptomatic carrier. Sophie, as of current, is represented by East Coast Talent. Whether or not ECT is aware of Sophie's choices is unknown. And I wonder if she's still going to Seattle in April, because here's what she tweeted, and this is from March 23rd. Can't wait to see all my hot friends in Seattle and play. Seattle. This is from March 22nd, the day before. April 20th through the 24th, shooting content and working at a coffee stand with a couple of my favorite girls. Ladies, if you're in Seattle and want to shoot, send me a DM. I'll be posting a schedule of times and dates and locations I will be working at soon. And then, she puts her contact information and whatnot. So that's interesting. It makes me wonder how many other girls are working in the midst of this pandemic. I bet a bunch. Because, a lot of times when you're a young adult performer, you really think that you're like impenetrable. That nothing's going to happen to you, like somehow you're a superhero, but you're not. To me, this isn't worth the risk. I mean, realistically, even though they're saying that they want to lift certain quarantines in certain locations and social distancing recommendations in certain locations around May 1st. If you're smart, if you really care about your health, your life longevity, and whatnot, you're going to social distance probably until September of this year. Now, I've been social distancing my entire life because I've been preparing for such a situation, but I don't expect everyone to be like me. But seriously, if you think for a second, considering all the deaths reported when it comes to this coronavirus that is just magically going to disseminate, you must also believe in fairies, unicorns, and leprechauns. Okay? But I want to pop on over, when I think about it, to MikeSouth.com and see what's going on. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with that particular website because back in the day, and I'm talking when I first started blogging and learning about the adult entertainment industry blogosphere, Mike South, Lucas Back, that was where it was at. You know, even LukeFord.com, but now it's like the sites have lost their luster. The only individual who I'd say is kind of an exciting blogger still, aside from me, of course, would probably be Ari Bass. He really is very thorough. I don't like him as a person. I think he's a real jerk. Dangerous too. But he does a good job as a blogger. Realistically, actually, when I think about it, considering how much work and time he put into the development of trpwl.com, trpwl.com should be controlled by Ari Bass. And realistically, Tompkins should be relegated to blogging on Mike South. Because Tompkins, he's stupid. He's not a good writer. The only reason people like him is because he's a white male. That's it. It's because he's a white, privileged, enabled male. His blog is stupid. There's just nothing on there. But anyway, over on Mike South, there was someone else that they mentioned who was who was trying to escort during the coronavirus lockdown. Who was it? All right, here we go. Look at this mess. Texas Patty. Can you believe this? Trying to escort in the middle of the coronavirus. Oh, there's someone in the chat. Hi there. Hi, She-Rock Drilla. How are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm just now looking at the chat. Let me try to look at all the messages instead of just the top. Oh, it's just one message. And remember, you can join in this live chat. Everyone should come in here and chat about some porn industry news because it's fun. Everyone at home. All right, here's the headline. Typhoid Patty. Performer Texas Patty available to escort in Los Angeles during coronavirus lockdown. She must have been insane. Either that. Now, she could be illiterate and maybe she doesn't know what's going on in the world. You would be surprised as to how many adult performers cannot read. And I'm not talking Zoolander cannot read good level. I'm talking straight up can't read. That's why certain performers are not on social media or Twitter, because they can't figure out how to use it. I'm serious. When I was a performer years ago, back in, when was it that I met that girl who couldn't read? It was 2009. I couldn't believe it. It was a girl, she asked me to develop a website for her. So I invited her over and we were starting to work on the process. And I asked her to read something to me while I was typing and she couldn't read. And I wound up teaching her how to read because no one had taught her. She was a runaway. And she came from a background to where her parents basically abandoned her. She was raised by her grandmother. Her grandmother was very old and could barely take care of her. She never went and had proper traditional schooling, so she just never learned how to read. Very interesting situation. And I think it's probably a common situation when I think about it. So anyway, here's what this says. A few days ago, we reported that nitwit performer Sophie Ryan was running a prostitution advert on Eros during the national state of emergency due to the coronavirus pandemic. Shortly after our story was posted, Ryan pulled her ad. And you would think that other performers would follow suit and quietly yank their own ads, right? Wrong! Here's the reckless Texas Patty, aka Typhoid Patty, the Teutonic Twit, still advertising escort services online. Wow. Well, here's the question. Who would calling? Who's calling her to come over? That's what I want to know. Who needs social distancing during a global health crisis, right, Patty? This isn't some dumb kid. Porn star Texas Patty is a 38-year-old woman. She should have more sense. Not only does Texas Patty have an escort ad running on Eros, she also has one on Slixa.com. And I actually took the time to go over to see who all was on Slixa. And I was just tweeting not even 2 weeks ago. I was saying, if they want to get this coronavirus pandemic under control, they need to shut down. It needs to be a legally mandated shutdown of the porn star talent agencies, the online escort agencies, and the dating sites. Because I don't care what anyone says. I personally believe that this hookup culture, in part, is what is responsible for this pandemic. There are more people, truthfully, than not only this country, but this planet can handle at this stage. Okay? I understand some people might disagree with me. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. But there's too many people. And then on top of that, not enough people practice proper sanitary habits. Which is why we are where we are today. But you know what? Don't social distance. Fine. Some of you out there, you don't want to do it? Okay, don't. I'm going to be doing it. Hell, in time, I'm going to build an underground bunker, and I'll still be video podcasting when I do. But those of you who don't want to, fine. Make room for the, other people who are responsible human beings. Okay? But yeah, you know what? While I'm on here, I think I'm going to pop on over to Eros, because I want to see what other porn stars right now have active ads, because I bet that there are some of them who do have active ads. Let's see, what would it be? Because this is getting out of control. And that Free Speech Coalition, they don't really care. I couldn't believe that Free Speech Coalition only supposedly had 30K, somewhere between 30 and 50K. I think they've raised some money since they announced it to help performers during this pandemic who don't have an income. I mean, call me crazy, but I thought that the adult entertainment industry was some sort of a multi-billion dollar industry. At least that's what they were touting themselves as being back in 2007, 2008, when I was a spring chicken, thinking I was going to be the Black Jenna Jameson like a damn fool. Yeah. Where do all those billions go? What? Some of the porn industry kingpins can't help these porn stars who need money? Really? What? You want them all to die so that their value of their content goes up? Is that what you want? That is what you want, isn't it? That's what you want. Sickos. All right. Okay, so I can't show this site while I'm podcasting because it is definitely um, triple X. But I'll just narrate what I'm looking at. All right. You know what? I think I'm just going to read off the names of who currently has an active ad on Eros. And the names I read off, if you are a adult industry performer who is smart in social distancing, I suggest that you add these names to your no list permanently, because from my perspective, these people either are not knowledgeable enough to care about their health, or they're just living some sort of a lifestyle to where they feel like, I'm gonna live and die young. All right, here we go. There's a big booty girl known as Victoria Cakes. There's a girl known as Carolina Cortez. Oh my God, Trinity St. Clair. Trinity St. Clair, just like for a while the luxury companion was my porn industry X-File, she's going to become an X-File for me, because I don't understand what's going on with this girl. First off, how is she constantly escorting? And is she actually escorting, or is she some sort of a madam? And how is she getting away with it? Is it because of white privilege? Is it because she's a female? I don't know, but put this girl on your no list, because if she is escorting during this pandemic, she's going to transmit this mess to the talent pool. And there's just going to be a wave of death. It's going to be like biblical. All right, who else? Jaden Starr. Someone who just goes by Lily. Jessica Jade. Dahlia Denial. I heard of her. Miss Jaylene Rio. Who else? Ashley Shy. Haley H. Brandy Bay. Brooke Page. Shannon Block. All right. Claudia Valentine. V. Blake. Allie Oops. What? Brett Rossi. I'm going to have to screen cap this. I'm screen capping this right now. Brett Rossi has an active ad on Eros.com in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Oh, I'm glad I took the time to look. For those of you who do not know who Brett Rossi is the same damn girl who was crying boo-hoo when Charlie Sheen came out as HIV positive. I mean, what's the deal? What is she? YOLO? You only live once? Something's wrong with her. Does she okay, my first question is, does she know that this escort ad is up during this coronavirus? And is she really putting herself out there? Because this isn't just centralized to LA. We're talking a global pandemic. I'm saving this, because I'm about to write a piece and put that on Porn News Today later today. I mean, really, that is the porn news of the day. There it is. Let me click on this. Let me see it, because if there's no nudity, I can probably show it. Let's see. Eros verified, and you got to send your ID in. Oh, no. Oh, this is horrible. All right, let me show it to y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The same girl who was crying boo-hoo when it came to Charlie Sheen and the HIV has an active ad on Eros right now. As you can see, it's an active ad. I don't even know if I can show this on here. Let me transition back, but I just want y'all to see it. So what? Does she think that her white privilege somehow is going to protect her from the coronavirus, either being a silent spreader or transmitting it? I mean, this needs to be illegal. Someone needs to pick her up. It says Brett Rossi is available exclusively through Lourdes. It says, thank you for your interest in our stars. If you would like to meet one of the 300 stars Lourdes Enterprises represents, please send an email. Okay. Yeah, this is sick. Oh. Well, see, that's what happens. That's what happens when you sell your soul to the devil. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Let's see who else is on here. This is crazy. This is crazy. Can't believe that. Vanessa Cage, someone known as Keisha. So this Lourdes. This Lourdes needs to be shut down. I wonder where they're based out of. I mean, Interpol maybe needs to get involved. Taylor Reed. Who else? Nella Jones, Sheila Marie, and Karen Fisher. So those are just the Los Angeles XXX stars on Eros. Woo! But that Brett Rossi, what a revelation. What a revelation. I can't believe that. She must be out of her mind. I wonder if she's on drugs. Maybe. She might be on drugs. Or maybe she's drinking too much to make such a decision. And for the adult performers out there who are battling alcohol addiction, I do conduct live anonymous alcohol anonymous meetings. Okay? Over on pornnewstoday.com. Just click on the tab toward the top. Here, let me bring it up so y'all can see. Because I'm a recovering alcoholic. I have not had any alcohol or nicotine, for that matter, in my system at all as of September 26th of 2019. I will never go back to drinking. Not because any particular incident happened. You know, I've never even had a DUI. But because I just decided something intuitively told me, Alexandra, you need to care about your health a lot more. Now, I am 41 years old, so, it could just be something having to do with my age that told me that. But I just thought to myself, you know what? I want to have a good quality of life for the rest of the time that I'm here on planet Earth. So I put a stop to all the stupid bullshit I was doing. And I feel great. Up until this pandemic, I was training for a marathon, but I don't think there's going to be any marathons anytime soon, considering the requirements. I mean, they could do it if everyone, agrees to run 6 feet away from each other, I suppose. But, I'll just wait. I'll wait a couple years to do that. But I'm not going to stop exercising and training. But yeah, if you go on over to Porn News Today, click on where it says AIPAA up toward the top, you'll see that you can click on that and you'll find a page called Adult Industry Performers Alcoholics Anonymous. And you don't have to register for meetings or anything. You can just come and participate in the chat, share whatever you need to. But the important thing is that you stop drinking. Okay? Just stop. Because once you stop drinking, you might decide to stop other dangerous behavior in your life. Okay? And I'm not saying you got to stop being a porn star if that's your dream and goal to be the biggest porn star in the world. There's some people who have quit drinking and being a porn star is their calling. Seth Gamble, for example. Okay? But if you're going to do something like that, you need to have a clear mind. And to have a clear mind, you need to be alcohol free. All right? That's all I'm saying. So yeah, someone in the chat, they're saying, not Victoria Cakes, Damn. I know. Well, I never even heard of Victoria Cakes, but you know what? There's a lot of new and upcoming adult performers that I hadn't really heard of that seem to be making a splash in the industry. And you know who one is? Let's talk about this girl who I hope I get to conduct a comprehensive interview with, because I sure would like to. I find her interesting. Her name is Lasha Lane. Lasha Lane. She is a beautiful black BBW, and she is outspoken. She is outspoken. I came across her tweets actually yesterday, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to amplify her voice a little bit and throw her over on Porn News Today. So let's go over some of her tweets, shall we? Because I am very disappointed, actually, in Michelle LeBlanc of the Free Speech Coalition, not just because of Lasha, but because she seems to be turning a blind eye to some allegations revolving around Gustavo Turner. Ugh. Whether the allegations against Gustavo are true or not, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. I'll talk about that later as to why. But let's talk about Lasha. Lasha Lane. She's beautiful, isn't she? I think if I was a BBW, she and I could be twins. She's pretty. Anyway, here's the headline. Lasha Lane appears to see a major potential problem with the Free Speech Coalition lifting their mandatory production hold. Quote, I'm so glad that FSC Army and FSC Pass are the CDC now. And she obviously tweeted that sarcastically. So here's some of her tweets. Been seeing freshly tested floating around. Unless you are an FSSW, I don't understand why people are shooting again. So please stay away. Just so y'all know, I am immunocompromised and so is my child. Then she says what the headline is. I'm so glad that FSC Army and FSC Pass are the CDC now. I'm so glad they are giving us permission, meaning to shoot, because she's right. You know, the FSC does like to tout itself as the political ruling body of the adult entertainment industry, but I mean, they took forever to even issue a production halt when it came to this coronavirus. Now the halt is not even mandatory. It's voluntary. It was only a true halt once they pulled the past database offline, which is the STD testing database, right? But here's the thing. The coronavirus technically is an STD. There's a blog about that on Porn News Today. It is a sexually transmittable disease. So are the pass-approved testing clinics going to be issuing a COVID-19 test? And anyone who tests positive, what's going to happen with them? But that doesn't seem to be happening. Another thing is that the FSC, at least from my perspective, and I'm not the only one who thinks this, does not adequately represent the true voice or voices of the industry. Actually, the FSC severely stifles, suppresses, and oppresses the voices of people of color. You know, yeah, you got Lotus Lane seemingly to be a spokesperson, but too many talents of color are afraid to speak up. They're afraid to be blacklisted. They're afraid that they're going to receive similar treatment to what I did from 2010 on. But how's there ever going to be change if you're scared of opening your mouth? The way I see it, the adult entertainment industry is run like a goddamn pre-Civil War cotton plantation. Yeah. In the way I see it, the active working talent of color, they ain't nothing but house slaves. I could use a different term, but I won't. Not this morning. So anyway, Lasha, she also says, fuck FSC Army and FSC Pass. Yes, I'm aware of the fact that they are a national database, but they are failing you. They are only in this for the money, and they really don't care about you. Can't afford their testing. Woo! So again, I hope that Lasha allows me to interview her. I think that would be a very interesting interview. That more talent in the industry needs to hear what she has to say. I had a chance to skim through her Twitter, and she's a very intelligent young woman. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about FSC Michelle now and this Gustavo Turner connection of hers. Because according to Lasha, she reached out to FSC Michelle LeBlanc, and Michelle never got back to her. I wonder why that is, because I know for a fact that Michelle took the time to speak with Melissa Hill, even though at the time Melissa Hill was no longer an acting vice president of the Adult Performers Actors Guild Union. That's right. Melissa Hill, the woman who was offered help for her mental illness and who declined it. But Michelle was okay talking to Melissa, but doesn't want to talk to Lasha? Why is that, Michelle? Do you have an aversion to people of color, Michelle? Just wondering. All right, so here's the headline over on pornnewstoday.com. Considering all the misconduct allegations against Gustavo Turner made by vulnerable adult industry performers, why is Free Speech Coalition CEO Michelle LeBlanc retweeting him? Is she uninformed or simply an insensitive jerk? I don't know. Hard to tell. But what I do know is that Vera King appears to be quite credible. She is a very talented writer, and Vera King recently came out with some very serious allegations when it comes to Gustavo Turner. He oppressed her story of mistreatment on set, and I still haven't heard much fanfare around Vera King's story. I wonder if she even getting any sort of support from the FSC board, because Vera King went through hell. We'll talk about that after the break. But just very quickly, I'm going to read some commentary from Porn News Today about this. The credible writer and performer Vera King's testimony alone should be enough for Free Speech Coalition CEO Michelle LeBlanc to understand why retweeting or validating in any sense Gustavo Turner on her FSC associated social media account is not the best idea. Why would Michelle, a female professional in the adult industry who holds a leadership position, turn a blind eye to the claims from individuals who've alleged serious misconduct allegations against Gustavo of XBiz? To the knowledge of the PNT team, LeBlanc has never publicly addressed the issues revolving around Turner. Yeah. So what's really going on with LeBlanc? LeBlanc, that's French for of white. What, is she the defender of white privileged enabled males? Because, at least superficially, Vera King appears to be a white girl. I would have thought that Michelle would be, all about defending Vera King, because they seem like a similar kind of person too, intelligent, brunette, into the adult industry. You would think that they'd be like, hey, we're sisters from another mister. But no, no. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. I'll be back. Remember that you can participate in the chat this morning if you want to. All you got to do is have a Google account and log into your YouTube account to chat with me and ask questions if you want to. So I will be back in just a bit. Just a bit. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast because I think I've talked about everything I need to talk about today. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I don't know if I want to do this podcast, not daily. That's too much for me to commit to. Maybe every other day. Maybe every other day. Because I like this software I'm using. This software makes things easier. And, you know, I got stuff to talk about because I want to antagonize people, make them nervous, annoy them. That's who I am. I'm Alexandra Mayers, single, black, 41, at peace, but, you know, up to no good. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching. I didn't check the chat as frequently as I should have, but oh well. Take care, everyone. And remember, check out pntlive.net and pornnewstoday.com. Bye-bye.